Hey there and welcome to a new Blender tutorial. In this one we're going to make some knurling. If you wonder what knurling is, it's like those diamond patterns you see sometimes on metal. I'm going to show some examples here which I rendered out before this tutorial. And this is not a beginner tutorial, so if you still rely on screencast keys or somebody telling you exactly what to do, this is maybe not the right one for you. You should maybe go back, study a little bit of modeling, a little bit of topology, see what sticks and what doesn't, try to fix some things, and once you get there you can come back. But this is like an intermediate to maybe even advanced kind of technique. It's not hard by any means, but to get the point, how to get there is kind of hard to grasp sometimes. And so yeah, you should maybe first get a hold of or a general understanding of what topology is and what to use it for and how to build it up, and then just come back and see what you can do. But anyways, this is probably going to be the easiest of our multi-series of tutorials that I'm going to make that are featuring just modeling techniques without a specific end result. So without any further ado, let's hop straight into it. I'm just going to add in a cylinder, which I'm going to use as a base mesh for our knurling. For this, I'm just going to make it a little bit taller. I'm going to add a little bit of detail to it, nothing fancy, just some ordinary stuff. I don't want any fancy things going on here, just something to have a look at, something like that, and should be plenty. I'm going to shade this smooth, give this a bevel, apply the scale, make this smaller, give this more segments, and that should be fine. Yep, I'm going to keep it like that. I'm going to apply the bevel and give this a subdivision surface modifier in order to give it a little bit more roundness. And now to get to the actual knurling, I'm adding in a loop cut and beveling it up until the point where I say I want my knurling to go right up to that point. And you're going to see why just in a bit. I'm just going to duplicate this, bring it to the side, and first we're going to do destructive knurling and then we're going to do non-destructive knurling. First we're going to start with destructive, which is usually not as comfortable to work with, but we're just going to add some loop cuts until we basically get square things here. They're not completely square, you can really fine-tune it, but basically get it until it looks somewhat square-ish. So left click, right click to set it back to the center. I'm going to select all of these faces, hit F3, and then I'm going to go to unsubdivide. Now at the default it's set to 2, but we want to reduce it to 1 so we get this cross-hatching pattern. That should be fine. And now what we should be seeing is, once we undo the subdivision, is that we get some zigzagging over here, and that is a byproduct of destructive knurling. It's just that it distorts the mesh heavily and there's not much you can do about it. But without any further ado, let's get right into the first topological issue which we're going to face, and that is triangles here. When making games, when making complex scenes or beveling or subdivision models, you usually want to not have any triangles. So in order to get rid of them, I mean, we're still going to have the triangle shape, which still isn't really nice topologically, but it's still going to be better than having two triangles. We're going to select an edge like that, and then select similar length. And now I'm just going to decrease the threshold. Oops, not make it bigger, but decrease it until I get the desired length. Okay, let's make this a little bit faster, like this. And that should basically select all of the edges around, which we can just dissolve. So now, with that method, we should get nice four-sided pieces here. And now we're going to start the knurling process. Now we're going to go into face selection mode, select all of that basically, and I'm just going to inset it twice, or hit I twice for inset. I'm going to give it some thickness, something like that, and extrude it out like so. Now you can see the shading is going all over the place, which is why I have applied the bevel modifier in the first place, so that we can bevel this here separately without distorting this beveling here. I'm just going to give it another bevel modifier, which is going to make this look really puffy, which is also an issue which we're going to fix, because with that style you just want to have flat pieces, but we're going to get rid of it pretty soon. First I'm going to reduce this by a factor of a lot, but not too much. That is fine, I guess. By the scale, yep, looks fine. Good. Give it some beveling, and now we could even subdivide it if we wanted to, like this. Just takes a little bit of time because it has a lot of polygons to take care of. Just give it a moment. And now you can see it fixed a little bit of the shading, but what the subdivision does, because as I said, having a triangle is still worse than having this shape, but actually what it does is it distorts the edges of the triangle shaped knurling here a little bit, which isn't too bad, but it's not too good either. So I'm just going to disable the subdivision, and instead what we can do in order to get flatter faces is we can just, or they're not going to get flatter, but they're going to look flatter, is by just giving it a weighted normal modifier, and that makes it look perfectly straight, perfectly flat, which is basically what you want. Now the upside of knurling things like this is basically that you have the topology baked into your mesh. You can basically have it as one separate mesh. It doesn't take too much topology, but basically you're stuck with this. You cannot add more, you cannot subtract it, you cannot say I don't like the scale of it, and afterwards if you wanted to change something about it, you would have to redo the entire mesh. Now I'm going to show you a non-destructive way, which is also pretty good. So basically we have that thing here, and now we're going to duplicate just this part and separate it. Now we can hide this here basically because we won't need it. And what if I wanted tinier details, smaller details? I'm just going to subdivide it once to get a few more edges. Just dissolve this. Now we have more edges going around here, which is going to allow us to have finer detailed knurling. Now I'm going to go up like this, and you can already see that we're having a lot more going on here. Now I'm going to do the same process as before, just F3, unsubdivide, like that, with a factor of 1. And in this case I'm just going to delete this here, select similar length. Just going to delete the edges here, because it's a lot more trouble than it is worth, at least for the tutorial's sake. And now just inset everything again. Now we want to basically move this out again. Now I don't have a real reference for it, but that's fine. Oops. Increase the number of faces, invert it, and delete the edges. Whoops, not the edges, the faces, sorry. Like that. And now we only have the knurling part, the knurled part, I don't know what to call it, but basically we have this here, the diamond pattern. And once we unhide our base mesh, we can do the same thing that we did to this, and that is basically bevel this with a factor of, I don't know, 0.005, 0.005 for segments. We can also just give this an auto smooth and go back and weighted normals. So this way we can always go back and say, I don't want this many, I want this many, or I want less, I want more, I want them to be bigger, smaller, not the diamond shape, I want them to be elongated, which is also fine. You can get a lot of different results using this, and the best thing of all is, if you don't want it like that exactly, you can just hide it or delete it entirely and change it after. Now, you're not really bound to round surfaces with this. You can really do whatever you want. For instance, I could just go in here, say I want my knurling to be in this realm here. This here also works destructively and non-destructively. Just get some beveling. Doop doop. Something like that. And I want my knurling to be in this location. Just going to duplicate it again, separate it, and work on this here. Just going to give it this many divisions, which is 3. Unsubdivide. And now it would probably be best to get rid of this, because I'm already seeing something really cool happening here. Select similar length. I'm seeing a cool pattern here which we can abuse. Dissolve the edges. And I'm going to select, whoops, moment. Just going to select this here, inset, extrude, basically the same thing that we did before. Point 005. And now we get like a sun pattern here, which is pretty cool. So you see, there are a lot of happy accidents, as Bob Ross would say, that can happen during this process. You can get some really cool shapes going on. But even if you know exactly what you want and what you need to go for, you can pretty much just do so. You shouldn't be having any issues, and this process really works with most of the things that you're trying to make. So I hope that you found it informative. I'm just going to show you some examples again of what you can do with this method, and you should be good to go. I will see you in the next one. Bye.